All right, welcome guys. You know I've been saying for about the last couple of months we are going to be doing another Wavy Baby. And Elaine, my lovely model, as you know, for many, many years, very high priced. Actually, I paid for it with my life. No, but all kidding aside, she's going to be our model. Now, she had one back on June 11th, and so subsequently she's had phenomenal results. Miss Sharon has been the actual great stylist to help with the wrapping system and what have you. We're using number 2 in terms of the type of Wavy Baby we're going to use. And we're going to start in with the wrapping technique. You can see how the partings have already been defined. So we've got a side part, we've got some front action going to be rolling towards the face. We're going to go down as low as we can in the back. And by the way, you can see the remaining of the former Wavy Babies. Now we're doing this at the John Amico School. I have a terrific group of students that are going to be watching us. Hello guys, how are you? All right. And it's a couple of days after Christmas, so they're out on the floor and they're cooking, right?
Yeah.
But we're in here private. We might get a disturbance here now. But anyway, we're going to just watch a little bit of this wrapping technique. And then what we'll do is we're going to go to some stills, and then we're going to come back with some wrap-ups with the actual. Okay, so we're bookending, and we're actually putting in the end papers, as you can see, on a double end paper wrap, and you'll note that
under directing these.
Okay, a little looser, a little lower, a little bit of under direction.
And I'm doing it as a double flat, because we want more of a wave pattern, not so much as a curl.
Okay, and that's a sandwich wrap.
Right.
Okay, and Miss Sharon goes back to the days of hair performers with one of our trainers. Does a great job. She's here at the school, and love her to death. Okay, so now you're going to notice on the front we're going to do a little bit of over direction off the part. And the reason for the over direction is we want some volume, which is going to be the indentation
now
underneath.
You can go to 1. Now I'm
Okay.
going to go to a bookend.
Okay, now bookend. You remember the days of the perm contest, huh?
Yes.
Yes. Started December 26th, ended March 15th. And so relaxers, jerry curls, perms, everything counted as a service. And the ones that did the most within our organization, and there were thousands of professionals in that, were the ones that did win the coats, the fur coats. In those days, it was popular, and the jewelry, etc. So.
And what I'm doing with the partings too is I'm also taking zigzag partings, because I don't want to. It makes it easier for when the hair goes to style it that there's no separation.
Okay, no seps. All right. Up on top. Okay. All right, we're going to be coming back after we pretty much wrap this up, and we'll give you more information. Okay, so we have been going from double bookended, also moving along to singles. And the reason for that was based on what the outcome is going to be. So in some cases, we were concerned with partings and where there was going to be a melt between straight hair and wavy hair. So Michelle, why don't you just describe that melt between the two?
All right, so from where we're going, perming as far down as possible, because you don't want to go too close, especially if it is, it'll be sticking out when it'll be perming. You don't want that. But what I've been doing is I'm going to be taking zigzag partings and blend it. It'll give me the separation so it'll melt, so you won't see the straight lines as it is if you were going in and we're taking straight partings. By doing it zigzag, it blends it all throughout, and it gives her the look, so it makes it easier to style.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can see, taking the turn and just doing it, and it's not a large separation. When you have too big of a zigzag parting, you're gonna get too much separation. I want it so it's gonna blend in better, so I'm doing smaller zigzags. Since smaller zigzags gives you more of a closer blend.
Okay, so also you'll notice that it's all brick laid in the back as she goes from side to side. And the other issue is going to be the type of solution and the kind of structure of hair. You'll notice that on the top, her hair is high lift color, and we're using a 10N, which is natural, and then we will go ahead and use a little bit of I'm Blonde, which is a cream bleach to it. And then I use 1.5 levels of developer, meaning that for every ounce of color, I'm using 1.5 ounces of developer or enzyme developer. And I'm also using the solution in this case, which is going to be 2. We are doing a water wrap. This is not a wrap where we are already having the solution. The important thing is to realize that the solution is going to be a cysteamine. It is not going to be a thio. But I still want to be concerned that I do have the light treated hair. I am not going to change the actual volume or let's say intensity of the solution. So I'm going to use the lightest solution we have, which is for decolored hair, which means bleached hair. Even though in the front here we have a 40 volume developer and we also have a little bit of I'm Blonde, it isn't the worst condition, meaning that I could use 40 volume with a real strong bleach to get this up because it's only a single application. I get this color single app. Now, she was recently colored. We did this in reverse because we had an event she had to go to and didn't want to see roots. So I said, well, we're going to color this, 4 or 5 days before we do your color. If I have any color loss at all, I'll simply take 10N, a little 10 volume, maybe 5 volume enzyme, and use it as a toner, if I do, but I don't think I am. And you'll notice that in the back area, we're using an 8N in the crown with a 30 volume, and then at the nape, I'm using a 6N with a very simple 10 volume. So I've got 3 kinds of hair on this head. It's not all of the same consistency, nor same treatment. She does, from time to time, blow it dry with the flat iron. So that means that I've got some areas that have been processed, sometimes a little bit more than they should, but you know how your clients are, and that's okay. But biomineral treatments, and then we also use our 11, which seems to be fantastic. Okay, Miss Sharon, you've just, 1, 2, 3, zippity-doo-dah. She's great.
All right, there you go.
Here is the result. As you can see, the parting that she had put in. You'll see how the rods are just horizontal to the floor. As we rotate, you'll see that these are brick laid. And let's stop right here so we can go all the way down. We'll see how much hair we left out. At the very bottom, this is all zigzag. The same as her color. We zigzag the parting so you don't see how the color changes. And then over here on the side. All right, and it's a little diagonal. I see a couple little pieces. They're ornery, but we'll take care of that. All right, we're gonna take her off to the bowl. Let me just glance over here again. This is what we're gonna be utilizing. Gonna love it, and she will absolutely be fabulous. We'll see you at the bowl.
Yeah.
All right, we have got the test curl. She just did one over there. I'm gonna do one over here. And it's been on about 7 minutes now. We did it after 3. And roll over and play dead. Her hair, see, her hair is so fine that it won't sometimes throw it. So you got to encourage it by just putting your finger in there and shaking a little bit. So knowing that this is the ones that we're most concerned about around the face, the high lift, that's why we're going to take this off now. So we're going to water rinse, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to start neutralizing. And she looks great just the way she is. So she is rinsing it, but you'll notice we're not rinsing it at really high volume. The purpose of that is we don't want to dislodge any of the rods to make certain that they're in place. Remember, very fine hair, not all that long.
So by doing it this way, you may have to rinse a little bit longer than...
Yeah. As I remember back in beauty school, they used to say, rinse for 5 minutes. And used to go, well, I don't know. Well, when you're at a stoplight, you're only there for 2 minutes. So you gotta water rinse this for 5 minutes. Now when you get underneath, you need a little bit more pressure because the hose has got to go up, a little bit of a twist. So yeah, so she'll be doing that too. Now in the back, you got a little bit more strength in terms of hair, so it's kind of okay. All right, we'll be back. We have now neutralized for about, we have solution now, but rinsing for about 5 minutes before we start the neutralization process. So right now we do have a towel on it. We are going to get cotton. We are going to actually go on each one of the rods, take out the moisture, and we did use a low volume type of water spray, but at the same time it was medium to, not hot, but medium to say warm. Yeah, not cold at all, but not hot at all. Okay, here we go with the cotton. Got the cotton there. All right, we'll be back.
If there's too much water in the hair left from rinsing, it'll dilute the neutralizer. And then what's going to happen to the curl?
So Ms. Sharon is using paper towels. You can use additional towels if you would like. We'll be using cotton in the next phase to make sure we get all of it out. I think you can see that we've got fairly good retention. It didn't unwind or loosen up. And you'll also see there's not much tension on the hair itself. You can see how loose that is, because you know tension is the one that makes it break. Okay, we are now neutralizing, and I think that you can see it's really looking great. We've got good secure rod placements. Nothing at this point, right? She's got our cotton that's wrapped underneath there, but as you know, sometimes it has a tendency to drip a little bit, but it's going well. All right, we're going to leave this on for 5 minutes. All right, we have now had this on for 5 minutes, and we are just about at 1 minute left, or I should say 1 second left. And it is done, so now they come out. We're going to leave the rods in. We're going to leave the rods in our rinsing. And just in the back area, we're taking some of these out. We're going to leave them in. All right. And the reason for us leaving them in is we need them to be really rock solid up in this area. In the nape area, we want it to actually blend together. So that's why we have been able to take those out. And once again, we're going to go ahead with our 5-minute policy, not really hot. We're just going to go ahead and do that, and we'll be back. All right. All right. Now you can see the curl pattern.
I'm coming here the next week again, or maybe tomorrow.
All right. Very nicely done. We'll show you a little bit more of that and look in the sink. All the rods. What do you notice? The end papers are gone, guys. Great. Okay. Thank you so much. See you in a bit. Okay. This is the perm. And we just took her out of the bowl area. I'm going to have her rotate around, a little bit of a turn, a little bit of a turn, a little bit of a turn, continue to turn. You can see the wave pattern, how it's actually when it came out of the rods. We haven't combed through it yet, but we did neutralize it. I think it looks pretty good. And then we'll see you on the inside.